Okay, we should be back. Apologies, my computer had a little bit of a hiccup there, and we should be back now. Can you confirm that we're back for me, Spoon?
Um, well, I refreshed and I have an ad, so
Okay.
Blue says we're back.
Okay, wonderful. Again, I apologize. The my computer, which had smooth sailing for most of today and all that yesterday, just decided to rip. So let's continue. And what we were talking about was the microtransactions, and we use the term slippery slope. So Spoon was just saying that the where's the cutoff, I think, is the right way to say it. So with with that being said, I will say that I don't inherently hate microtransactions. I don't like certain microtransactions. I want to be clear on this. I've purchased microtransactions for Heroes of the Storm, for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've purchased them for a couple other games. I don't think microtransactions are necessarily wrong. What happens is, and what ends up happening is people use microtransactions on occasion to experiment and to try and push this envelope. And I've seen it with Anthem. I'm starting to think that Valorant is going to try pushing, like with
They already
yeah,
have
they're
a
pushing.
95 a $95 gun skin. I know it's
Yeah,
a set for like every gun in the game, but it's still offensive. The
right.
most expensive skins in League of Legends, I know they're single champion, but they're like $30, but they come with like music and effects and I don't know. It just seems
I
like a lot.
I'm sure these skins, the dragon skins, will come with nice effects. I know they will. I'm confident Riot will do a good job with all that. That really wasn't the topic necessarily. We were talking about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla stuff and things like that. But I think that their Riot does a pretty good job with their art team and things like that. They have a good focus there. And I think what I don't like is the fact that they're testing the waters in the wrong way. Anthem tested the waters too, and it's for me it's a turnoff. So um, the yeah, I think microtransactions can be abused, and when they're abused, it's not okay. I think in this case, I'm sort of outs. I'm not okay with testing the waters being so expensive. Is is what I would say. Like, if you're telling me that let's experiment with the microtransaction price pool point and it's $50 for a skin, that better be a big one. Better be a real it better be something extraordinary for me. That's like the price
Early,
of a
early,
game. That's a price
blue,
of a game.
early access, blue.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to be clear. I don't hate all microtransactions. I think there are some that I really do enjoy. I think that's my point here. So anyway, is there anything else with Valhalla? I think Valhalla's going to have the same microtransaction pool, though. And you know what? It
Probably.
is what it is. It is what it is. So
Um, Trying to think what else. Like Young said, he said that, and this is just in general, and I kind of agree. When you look, the vistas and like the environment looks pretty good, but honestly, the graphics look a little dated. Like I think Ubisoft they need a new engine. They're
with Valhalla, I'm sorry, with Valhalla, are you
yeah,
speaking?
with
Yeah.
Valhalla. Like the character models really don't look that great, and stuff up close just doesn't look that good either.
It,
Um,
I think it's
they,
okay. I think it's solid.
it doesn't look
But
bad.
yeah,
Like I'm not saying it looks bad, but it's just it's starting. Their engine is starting to feel a little dated. I think they may need a they need to upgrade
yeah.
for next gen at least.
I don't know what we saw. I don't know what version of Assassin's Creed Odyssey or not Odyssey, Valhalla we saw. I'm not sure what the settings were. I would love to know what system they were on for that. It would be interesting to see.
Uh,
Um,
Prompts looked to be Xbox,
Xbox. Okay, that makes
but
sense.
I
I
guess
saw
that
a
could
lot
have
of
been on
Xbox
that
stuff.
that could have been on a PC with Xbox like prompts for
Sure,
controllers.
sure,
So
sure,
who
sure.
knows?
Yeah, it could have been
Um,
because I did see a lot of Xbox theme happening here in this event in particular. Xbox definitely, I feel like sponsored it or something along those lines. Um,
um, yeah, Young said that some of the side quests were cool. You know, the side boss that they showed in the demonstration with the that like cultist type person they ran into with the
mm,
blood trap. He said that was cool. He said that there was a certain other type of puzzle that they like hinted at in the demo, but they didn't really show, where you find these like monuments and then you have to look at it in a particular way to line up these symbols.
Right.
He showed the skill tree a little more expansively, and apparently there's 3 kind of trees like there was in Odyssey. There's like assassin, there's combat, and there's ranged,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And the theme of it looked cool. They were like spread out in these like little constellations, and there were all these different nodes for things. A bunch of them were just like stat buffs, and then there were like these big abilities that you could get. Like one in the assassin tree allowed you to do multi assassinations, like in
Mm-hmm.
like Shadow of War,
Yeah.
where you like and Young actually showed this. You assassinate somebody, and then for the second guy who was nearby, you just like throw your axe at them, and it would kill him.
They had something like that as an ability in Odyssey too, where you could do like a
Okay.
throw your spear and then it chained. But yeah, I
Okay.
like that. No, I like that idea.
But it looked like it was, so there were the I don't know if it worked this way in Odyssey, because again I haven't played it, but there was the skill tree, which was there were abilities, which were the combat skills, and then there were the skill trees, which was
Mm-hmm.
what I was talking about. I don't
Right.
know if there was a distinction in Odyssey or if this was a new thing.
I'm not sure.
Um, but anyways, I don't know. Some of it looked cool. Young said that the main character seemed a little bit bland from what he could tell, but it's a vertical slice, so hard to say on that
Yeah,
one.
we'll see.
Um,
Hope for the best is what I'm hope. You know, I hope for the best.
yeah, I mean, his overall impressions were like kind of similar to Watch Dogs. He was like, kind of mixed bag. There were some things that he liked and some things not so much. So,
Yeah,
um,
the
but
stuff that
if you like the modern Assassin's Creed games, if you liked Origins and or Odyssey, you'll probably like this game because it's going to be very similar. The combat is basically the same, open world exploration, some choices,
sure.
some collectibles, some boss fights. The combat, as I said, the combat's basically the same.
Yep.
Um, just new setting, new characters.
Yeah. No, I'm
Probably some new systems with the settlement building and stuff like that.
yeah.
That I'm kind of excited for. The settlement building sounds interesting to me,
Yeah.
but
I hope there's a little bit of stuff that you can do with that settlement. I hope it's just not like put building here and then you're done. I hope there's like one extra layer of intricacy like interesting detail that they add with like, okay, you place a building or something and maybe it's got like a specific function you can choose from. I don't know. Like I said, I'm hoping for the best. I really do want this game to work out. I liked Odyssey a lot. In fact, I'll be playing that again before Valhalla releases in November for sure. I'll probably start playing that in like October, I bet, and just getting excited. So there's one last thing that besides Valhalla, I'm gonna just show it now because I think this is like it was kind of an interesting thing for me. And by the way, I do want to disclose that we're going to be showing Far Cry 6 reveal trailer. I do want to say that Far Cry 5 was like $10 on PC. I don't know what its price is actually at for console, but Far Cry 5 looked like a pretty good game from the stuff that I had seen. Just for those who are curious and wanted some context for what we're about to show here. So let me swap over to this guy. And this is the trailer. I'm gonna put the audio on for it, and it's a 4-minute trailer.
change the scene.
Yeah, and the and I think what we'll do is I'll put the audio on just so we can hear it because another thing, a reason I like this one is because it's got one of my favorite actors. He was Gus Fring in Breaking Bad.
Fuerzas ultrapenetrantes, estamos cansados de los farsantes, de los...
It's beautiful, Miguel,
So do you just want to watch it, or
Mhm.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna
but useless.
let's just let it play for a little bit.
I
here.
have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
Papa,
Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
what are you doing?
Breathe, Diego. Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom.
It's like almost the same demeanor as he is in Breaking Bad.
Follow
It's
me.
just like a very calm
Now,
demeanor, but threatening. So, anyway,
I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions.
do you think this will be in a fictional country
noise,
or a real
indecision,
country like Latin America?
strangled by their own freedoms. Even if you have love in your heart,
I don't know enough about Far Cry. I
even if you
know,
want what's
wasn't
best
Far
for
Cry
them,
5 in like
if you
Montana or
only
something
want
like
to
that?
save them from
So
themselves.
generally they do real places, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
Try Courage
They
in
will
the
hate
chat
you,
said
Diego.
country is
Everything
Yar,
you
which
say,
is based on
do,
Cuba.
believe, will be wrong.
Okay,
So it looks like it is a fictional country with a
But based
basis
on
on
Cuba.
but with basis on Cuba.
yeah, this trailer was very just intense the whole time.
And I do hope that
They will
there's
answer you with screams.
there's plenty of focus on this villain.
Call you evil,
And I wonder if you're the kid.
monster.
That's what I've wondered too. Are you going to
Yeah.
play as the kid
Give
who's
you-
grown up a little bit more?
This.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they didn't show any gameplay. This was pretty much just a teaser trailer, though it was
Are you evil?
longer than most teaser trailers are. But I'm sure it will play similar
Are
to
you
other Far
a
Cry games.
monster?
Again, I haven't played any of them, so I don't really know a lot about this series, but
Because our country
This
Check
trailer
out-
was
these grenades,
intense.
except
I might check
it
out
has
Far Cry
2
5,
basic
if it's,
parts.
especially if it's so low
Our
price, such low price.
people
But this is like really intense. This is really nice.
and you,
Yeah.
and you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom.
Far Cry 5 for my next stream. That's an option. That's a good thought. I mean, Final
Is
Fantasy-
7R dead? Is it
7R
just
for
dead?
now is dead for stream. I actually haven't played that in a little bit. Okay, so that was the trailer. Let's move back.
Watch more
here.
from Far.
All right, so this was a tense trailer. Like we said, I think it's like the Far Cry 5 or like other Far Cry games. It's open world concept for the other ones, and I think Far Cry 5 was a little bit like this too, but not like in this particular setting. You got like you sort of roam around. I think I don't know the full details of Far Cry 5. I wish I did, but my thought is we're gonna get an open world here with this game, and there's gonna be like some aspect of like either you're working with the resistance fighters or something. This is my guess to bring down this regime. So that's like my prediction there. I feel like that prediction isn't going to be too far off of what'll happen.
Nope, that seems reasonable.
That seems reasonable. So I'm curious. Just because the trailer was so intriguing, and again, I like that actor. I don't remember his name. I'm looking it up right now. It's Giancarlo Esposito. So he's great. Love him in all the stuff that he's in, and I'm confident he'll do a good job as the villain. But I'm curious to see if your character is like I'm assuming that's his son, right?
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see if you play as the son who's grown up and you're going against your father or something like that. So, any thoughts from you, Spoon, regarding that?
like most of the other stuff in this. It kind of piqued my interest. It looked interesting. It's not those games, again, I haven't played any of them, so they're not necessarily right up my alley, but we'll see. I
Yeah,
don't
we'll
know.
see. Yeah. Okay, so those were all the things that we got revealed or we saw in Ubisoft Forward. Again, we had a live stream for that. That is still on our Twitch VODs if you want to check that out. Might add that to YouTube. Haven't really figured it out yet. My primary concern with that and with this stream, to be honest, too, is copyright. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll figure it out. And Spoon, was there anything else that we wanted to discuss today regarding Ubisoft Forward, or anything else that you wanted to touch on?
Not with Ubisoft Forward, but I figured for the rest of the time we have, I suppose we don't have to use all of it if we don't want to. But we talk about a little bit about what we've been playing or what we've been up to the past week.
Sure.
Basically, so.
Okay, well, you go ahead first, because I got a sense I know exactly what you're starting with.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this game a few times in the past, most prominently on the Gundam episode we did, which was like the third episode, so it was
Months
quite
ago.
a while ago now, probably 3 months ago. Yeah, big surprise post talking about Gundam again. I know that probably no one listening cares, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because the newest Gundam game is going to be coming out at the end of this month. It is another game in the Gundam Versus series, or Extreme Versus series. And the full title is a mouthful. I've talked about it before. It is Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus Maxi Boost On.
Beautiful.
And this series is a series of 2v2 arcade fighting games they're very popular in Japan and I think they have a following in the West. Obviously, they're popular enough for them to port them or localize them, I should say.
Sure.
The first Gundam Versus game we got over here in the West was titled simply Gundam Versus. It came out, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, and it was basically I think it was an experiment by Bandai Namco. It was a console version of Gundam Versus. It wasn't a straight port of any of the arcade games. It was a console game. It was a Gundam Versus game designed for console, and it was fun. It was really fun. I played it. The community died rather quickly, unfortunately. Basically, the game came out in, I don't remember, September. It came out in the fall of the year, September, October, I want to say. And they were releasing DLC relatively regularly, and then around January or maybe early February at the latest, they released the last wave of DLC, and then they just like ghosted the community. They didn't say anything. They just stopped supporting the game entirely, stopped patching it. They didn't add more DLC. And if you tried to play online, you could find a game, but you kept playing against the same people over and over and over again. Sure. So it kind of died. But that game must have done well enough that they thought it would be profitable for them to port Maxi Boost On to the West. So they're doing that. This one is a straight port of one of the arcade games. I believe Maxi Boost On came out in like 2016 or 2017, so around the time that the console Gundam Versus came out. But yeah, this series is it's a 2v2 arena fighter. There are, I want to say, 186 playable mobile suits in Maxi Boost On from pretty much any Gundam series you can think of.
Sorry, 100, did you say?
186.
Jeez.
So almost 200.
How do you balance that?
I mean...
You don't.
You don't.
Yeah, you just don't. Okay, you just don't.
You do your best. You do your best.
Yeah,
but
okay.
You
Don't. Continue. Sorry, continue.
There are tier lists, obviously, as there are with any fighting game, and this one having been around for 3 or 4 years has tier lists. But yeah, it's a very fast-paced 2v2 arena fighting game. The games are very short. They have They are maximum 4 minutes. A game is maximum 4 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and usually they're around 2 minutes. I want to say like 2 to 3 minutes or so to actually complete a match.
Okay.
So they're very very fast games. You just keep going and keep playing. But so they're doing open beta weekends basically. It started I want to say 2 or 3 weekends ago, and I really got into it, and like I actually played a ton this past weekend. Just I wasn't really intending to play that much, but I kind of just got into it and ended
Mm.
up playing like all day.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, you can download the well, if you look, you can download the beta. I don't know what the deal is, but if you
Yeah.
go on your console and you search Maxi Boost on the PlayStation Store, you won't find the beta. You'll find a pre-order for the game itself, which comes out on July 30th,
Mm-hmm.
so the end of this month
Sure.
in like 2 weeks or a little more than 2 weeks. Um, but in order to download the beta, you have to go to the PlayStation Store on your web browser and find it from there, and then log into your PlayStation account and click like download to your PlayStation, and then you can get it. I don't know why it doesn't show up on the PlayStation Store on the actual PS4. Don't ask me. It's like they don't want people to play this game. I don't understand. It makes no sense.
It's very confusing. When Spoon was explaining
Um,
to me, I just didn't understand why they did this.
but yeah, I again, I find it hard to recommend this game to anyone who isn't either a Gundam fan or a fighting game fan. But again, it's free to try right now, at least with the open betas. So, and they're gonna continue to do these open weekends for the next 2 weekends until the game comes out.
Sure.
So, if you are even moderately interested, boot it up, give it a shot. You don't have to play online in the open beta. They actually have access to a single player mode if you just want to do that and not get absolutely clapped online. Because you probably will if you
Mhm.
don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure. So
But I don't know how much more depth I want to go into. I could ramble about this game for
I know
a
you could.
while.
I know you could. Well,
I'm trying to convince Otto to play it with me. He
you
did
could see. You
try.
could see. Yeah.
He tried Gundam versus the console one that came out, as I said, like 3 years ago. He played the demo for it. He played it for like 3 seconds, decided he didn't like it, and never
I'm gonna
played
be
it again.
perfectly honest, but I want to
So
clear the record on what occurred. Basically, I played this demo. I did not like the controls when I played it, and I said, okay, I'm not interested. I think the demo itself was the controls being frustrating for me. For me, reminder, I'm saying for me, the controls being frustrating for me were definitely a turnoff. So that's part of the reason why. Um, I, I I just think it's weird that you have this intricate way to download a demo. It's like you as a developer just don't want people to play your game. It's very confusing. So I'm curious as to why nobody was like, "Do you think we should put this on the PlayStation Store or something?" To search. I don't know, but okay. Yeah, you could see Spoon's asking me. It just sounds weird. I don't know. It just sounds weird that like it's like impossible to find and you have to like do it from your phone. It's weird. Um, so for me, I know Spoon's playing Gundam. I don't know what other games, Spoon. Other games.
I'm still playing Ys 8,
Okay,
Ys
so
8 right
Ys 8.
now, when because
Yep.
like Gundam's only available on the
On the
weekend
weekends.
right
Yep.
now. So
Okay.
obviously
So
I'm
Ys
gonna
8.
buy the game when it comes out. But uh, yeah.
Ys
So
8's
yeah,
also a good game too, by the way.
yeah, it is. I'm really enjoying it. The other thing I'll say for the open access, it's available for one day basically, from Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific until Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
If you don't pre-order the game, if you pre-order the game, you get another day, so you get to play it between Saturday and Sunday as well, same time. So they're trying to, make you pre-order the game. But for me, I'm gonna buy the game, so I don't care. Um,
Okay. Got it.
I want you to give it another shot. I will. I know I've said this to you before when you made this argument about the controls. they take some getting used to. It's not super intuitive. The tutorials for the game are kind of bad, to be honest. You kind of like need to watch YouTube or like get somebody to explain to you how the game works, or yeah, you're just not gonna have
Yeah,
fun because
that's a I don't want to say it's a bad sign because there are games like that where the tutorial doesn't really do its service. I'm actually gonna just say Civ.
yeah,
You kind of have to watch
no.
YouTube vids to get Civ, to be honest.
Yeah.
But so I don't want to hamper it because I play Civ, and watching YouTube vids and getting destroyed by Try Courage has helped me learn a bit more about how to play specifically with certain Civs. But um, for me in particular, like I'm playing Civ. I'm playing. I'm starting to do some online games of Civ. I don't think I'll be streaming Civ anymore. My computer doesn't like it, so unfortunately, my stream is kind of like up in the air. I will say that I'm getting a new computer soon, within less than a month, and hopefully I can sort of mitigate those issues. FF7R did take a back seat for a bit. I do want to play it though. I do like the game. It just frustrates me sometimes.
You don't necessarily have to stream it. Like if you like the
Yeah,
game but you're
yeah, I
not
do like
having
it.
fun, if you like the game but you're not having fun streaming it necessarily,
yeah.
just play it off
It's
stream and enjoy the game on your own
yeah,
time.
and
Like,
then
you know.
and then also for me, like other games I've been playing, it's really just been like Civ for the most part, actually, because I've been doing some other stuff on a personal side. I said at the beginning, I've gotten some part-time work, and I'm also going to be trying to do some other stuff involving like applications to master's programs for computer science. So my like gaming side is going to start taking a bit more of a backseat, including my stream. I don't know what's going to happen with that, and if I do stream something, I don't think it'll be on my PC. It'll probably be a console game. I've considered doing some like light. I got to figure out what console game I want to do. I did say I wanted to do Breath of the Wild at some point. Give that another shot.
Gundam.
And I'm hearing Gundam. The Spoon is saying Gundam, but just to be clear, like me streaming computer based games is just like it's hard now because it doesn't play nice right now with streaming like Civ, for example, or even like it crashed during our podcast.
During the pod, yeah,
It's just like,
the,
and I've
the
done
CP
I've exhausted all my options. I really have exhausted all my options.
the CPU is like getting
Something.
overworked or something.
But
it's just overheating or something.
I don't
like
know what's
that. I don't
happening.
know,
But in any case, like with those Civ games, like I'll be like, if anybody wants to join in those, I've been playing with Try Courage. I've been having fun with him, and if you want to join us for that stuff, please let me know, and we'll add you to those games when we play them. I will also say that if I do I am interested in Far Cry 5. If I do end up getting it, honestly, I'll probably get it for console if it's still a low price, like maybe PS5 or Xbox. I don't know, but I'll stream that if that would be something I'd play. So like I've got a couple things I'm interested in, and I'm a little sad that I do want to try Hyperscape, only because I'm kind of like, I want it to work out well for me, but I'm like there's like a I just know I'm just not gonna like, I'm gonna play it for like 2 days and be like, yeah, I'm done, thanks. Not tonight though, for sure. I'm not playing it tonight, that's for sure. I gotta do some other stuff, but that's my playing games and games that I'm thinking about. And like with my stream, because I know I like to talk a bit about that during the end of the podcast. So, Spoon, anything else besides asking me to play Gundam with you? Because I know that's apparent.
Nope.
Okay.
I just want people to play Gundam. If anyone wants to play Gundam with me, let me know. I'll show you how to download it. I'll show you the ropes of how to play, and just please play Gundam. No, I'm kidding. I do have a couple friends who do actually play Gundam with me, so it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm kind of memeing.
I know. I'm just like laughing.
But yeah, I have a few friends that actually do like
Do play it.
play with me, so it's not that big a deal. But
Yeah. No.
Ghost doesn't really like fighting games, to be honest. Like,
I have never known Ghost to play much fighting games. I don't know if he. I haven't really. Yeah. Um.
This
So, yeah.
game is very interesting. Like many fighting games, it has a super. I guess this is true for a lot of fighting games, as I said, but it has a super high skill floor. Like if you don't know what you're doing in this game, you're just gonna get plastered. Like you are just gonna get absolutely
Which
destroyed
which is
online.
it's tough. It's tough when those games happen, and there are a good number of games that have this issue. So I don't want to like box it into it's a one game issue.
It's a fighting game, so that's
If
kind
you've
of how it
ever
is.
played like Counter-Strike, for example, I've played Counter-Strike. If you're bad at Counter-Strike, you are bad at Counter-Strike. It will tell you immediately if you are bad at Counter-Strike. So I
I
would
think
yeah.
I think the good thing about this game as compared to other fighting games, at least from a beginners and introductory standpoint to it, is that a as I said, the games are very fast. So if you lose and have a bad game, you're done within 2 minutes and you move on to the next game
Sure.
and it's fine. B, you actually have a partner that you can rely on. I mean, so if you're not very good, maybe your partner's really good and he just carries you and you can help them out. Um, you can also, if you think so, I know I've talked about this before slightly, but I'll go into it. The way they quote unquote balance the suits is they each have a cost associated with them.
Right.
1,500, 2,000, 2,500, and 3,000. And when your suit dies, you lose that amount from your team cost.
Hmm.
Team cost at the start of a match is 6,000. So, for example, and nobody does this intentionally, if you're playing two 3,000 suits and you each die once, you lose because you've depleted your 6,000 team cost. So you just
Right.
lose the game. Um, but most team comps will be like a 3,000 and a 2,500 or like a 3,000 and a 2,000 or something like that. In competitive play, that's like
Right.
generally what people run. Um, but if you're like not very confident or something like that, just don't play a 3,000. If you're a bad player, please don't play a 3,000 because you're just going to weigh your team down by
Right.
basically playing a suit that, you know,
Requires a high cost. Like you're lowering your respawn
requires
time.
yeah, you're lowering your I mean, generally the 3,000 suits, they have more options, they have more boost, they like have more health, like they're higher overall performance suit. It's not just like it's higher
Right.
cost because it's harder to play or something. Like, generally they're harder to play, but you know, but if you're not a very good player and you take a lot of damage, you're not gonna be using your cost very efficiently,
Hmm.
basically. um the other thing is most of the low cost suits are not the cool ones that people like. They're kind of like the scrub suits. They're like
Sure.
not a lot of the Gundams and stuff are. So most of the iconic Gundams are in the 3,000 or the 2,500 tier. So I feel like most people play stuff in those. But anyways, I think it's a cool game. You know, you can rely on your teammate if you're not so good. There's, as I said, even in the beta, there's a single player mode that you can mess around with to get used to
Sure.
it. And if you're interested in it, I do recommend like looking it up on YouTube and learning some beginner strat, like basically beginner movement
Sure.
and strategies of kind of how to move around correctly and play the game. And yeah, because it's all about moving correctly to avoid things and not taking damage, and then punishing your opponent when they're not moving, basically to hit them. Because most of the time when you're moving, you're not gonna get hit. Um, Even though like shots do track a little bit, but anyways, that's getting a little more into the mechanics than I want to, I
Right.
think. But um, yeah, it's a cool game. I hope people play it and buy it because I like these games and I want them to keep making them and releasing more
Right. Yeah. You want
Gundam
to keep
games here.
keep
So
localizing them. Yeah.
um, and I hope there's a community to continue playing even after a couple months of the game being out.
Sure.
Unlike the first Gundam Versus, which as I said died pretty quickly. So
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, the localization thing. I'm feeling you. Like with, I will say, like, I don't want to go too far into it, but like, I hope Soccer Wars gets localized more. That was like super fun for me. So like, I'm getting what you're saying here, with all this stuff. Like more people playing it means they're gonna keep bringing it here. And like for me, like I said, like I'm super glad that they brought Soccer Wars here for this particular iteration, and I hope they keep bringing over more. So I'm with you. But that's pretty much going to do it for today. That'll I think we've gotten through a lot with, especially with Ubisoft Forward, and I think if you want to continue to follow us, please do so. I talked about the Twitter at the beginning. Twitter is the Myriathon. Please search for us on YouTube. I post the VODs of these up there, and the Myriacast. I just also want to say about Myriacast Plays. That's kind of up in the air because of my computer. We tried it. My computer decided no, so we're gonna have to hold on that one for a little bit, unfortunately. But I will say that if there's more conferences or events like Ubisoft Forward, we will do our best to do more live streams of that. So please be sure to follow the Myriathon Twitter. Be sure to follow my Twitter and Spoon's Twitter. Mine's at Automaton89 and Spoon's is at SPT Spoon, like you can see on the nameplate. Because if we do a live stream, or if there's something updated on the podcast, or if Myriacast Plays ends up coming back, which I hope it will once the new computer gets here, then
I mean,
you'll
I
get
can
tons of
stream.
stuff. Or yeah,
I
or
can
Spoon.
stream.
Yeah, we can talk about it in Spoon. We can figure out.
If you play Gundam with me,
Oh geez, I'm
I'll
being.
stream.
Oh geez, I'm being. Oh geez. So, like I said, please consider following us. Really, like all jokes aside, with all this, I hope we can get Myriacast Plays back, and maybe Spoon can stream it, and we can play something like Civ, for example. But
or Gundam,
okay, or oh my gosh, or Gundam, or Gundam, which I guess may happen at some point. Then just follow our Twitters, and I tweet about it. Spoon typically retweets and such, and just make sure to continue to support us. I saw a lot of people here. I won't say a lot, but I saw people here that sort of were coming in from my stream and came and said hello and things like that, and we're really happy that you guys are coming in and talking to us. So with that, we'll call it here. Thanks, guys, and to everybody else who joined and maybe dipped out a little bit early. We will see you guys next week. We're going to figure out what our topic is going to be. And also, I do want to say that at some point soon, with the live stream thing, the Microsoft Xbox conference, Spoon, when is that happening again? I think you told me.
I need to scroll up. It's like, I want to say it's July 23rd, which
Okay.
is next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
It's in the morning. It's at like 9 a.m. Pacific. I'll be up because I have class that day, but it is in the morning.
But
It
it's
is in the morning.
so you wouldn't be able to join.
No, I would, because that's like my class ends usually at 8:50. I would have to leave by 11 or
Mhm.
like before 11, maybe like 10:45 or so, but that actually is like a gap where I don't have anything going
Okay.
on school
We'll
wise.
talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it for sure. I mean, that's a potential where we might live stream that. But we'll see. I mean, if we don't live stream it, maybe we'll have like we'll get the VOD of it, and we'll maybe do a show later in the day, just watching the VOD of it. So, like I said, thanks everybody for supporting and following, and we'll see you
For
guys.
for Blue's
Okay.
comment real quick, Devolver was on Saturday. I
Devolver
didn't
was
watch
Saturday.
it.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it, but yeah.
With that, everybody, thank you, and we will see you guys next week, and we'll hopefully get some information out about the Plays events and the Microsoft live stream. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of the
Night.
week.